Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tilting Ground Untitled Notre Dame USC Football Podcast. I'm Michael Muto. I'm here with Greg Famon. Greg, are you okay? The people want to know.
I'm fine, Michael. They are not going to ruin any more weekends.
Actual people have asked me, is Greg going to be okay?
I'm fine. Thank you for your concern, everyone. I will be just fine.
So we'll start with Notre Dame because
Okay.
is shambles the right word? Disarray? Which
It all counts. I think anything in that realm, disarray, shambles, it all applies. Whatever adjective you choose.
So I was flipping between the Notre Dame game and the Dodger game on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I think I made the right choice because nothing ever happened while I was watching the Notre Dame game. It seemed like a low scoring affair, though the Irish had the lead for most of the game.
Yeah, they it was pretty clear. Like it was clear that they were better, and it was also clear that they were going to find a way to not win. It's like I tweeted out, the opponent doesn't even matter at this point. Like, and that's almost true in like all their games, with the exception of Texas. But like,
you have been saying that all season.
Yeah, like it doesn't. They do the same stuff regardless. Like Stanford scored 9 points without having to do anything. I mean, it's 10-0. The defense is playing well, and Notre Dame receives a start to the second half, and Kaiser throws a pick six, and then they get the next possession, and they put Malik Zaire in the game, and they snap the ball over his head for safety. And at that point, it's like you don't even need to keep playing. We all know how it's going to turn out.
So the internet is just up in arms over DeShone Kizer getting benched for throwing an interception. Like former quarterback Jimmy Clausen just
he threw
Brian
two.
Kelly have it.
He threw two. It was after 2 interceptions. Yeah.
Sorry, I sold him short there. But yeah, so everyone was very mad that DeShone Kizer got yanked in the middle of the game. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Like, it does seem like a kind of a short leash for your starting quarterback who's a top 5 pick. It was a top 5 pick.
Here's the thing: he was playing terrible to that point. He was completely out of sorts. I honestly, like, it was a performance that you can't even predict. Like, his first 3 passes of the game were just like, where are you throwing that ball? Like, I mean, just complete airmail. He never looked comfortable. He was, the best thing he did was, design runs and that sort of thing. And, the first interception that went for a touchdown, it was just, what are you looking at? Like, it was one of those where it's like, if he doesn't get it, the safety might just get it. Like, so it's going to get intercepted by 2 people. The second one was just kind of like, trying to make a play at the end, and just kind of chucked it up. It was like a 4th down or something. He just chucked it up and tried to make a play, and it was just way overthrown, and the safety picked it off. So, like, the idea that they would pull him, I kind of get it, just based on the way he was playing. But like, what we've seen from Malik Zaire this year, it's like he's not the answer.
No, he's not.
And so they gave him his series, and he didn't do anything. So it's like, well, what do you do now then? Like
what were you hoping for? What's your next plan?
He didn't do anything. So, like, did you want to give Kizer a second? I mean, they gave Zaire 3 series, so there were 3 wasted series, and then Kizer came in the game and drove him down the field, and of course he took a terrible sack to end the game.
But I mean, it's such a close game. How could you just take your starting quarterback out like that? It just seems like silly.
Well, especially when the option coming in is not really an option. Like, it's not a good option.
Right.
Right.
Malik Zaire has done nothing.
Yeah, he's been checked out for a couple of weeks now. So, I don't. I don't really understand that. You know, I understand that Kaiser was playing terrible, but you put in someone who isn't really present with the team. So, you know, they found a way to lose. That's what 2-4 teams do. Now they're 2-5.
I mean, you said it.
I think honestly, like I think they're all just kind of shell shocked. Like I think they all were just waiting around for something to happen. Like they were waiting for that shoe to drop where they were just gonna blow it. And as soon as Kaiser threw the pick six, it was like, okay, here it is. You know,
This is where it starts.
Yeah, and then it just kind of like they played into a loss. Like Stanford, like they're terrible. Oh, I can't believe SC lost to them. They're awful.
Well, I mean, Stanford was missing their best player.
They didn't have McCaffrey, but good gracious. I mean, you take any single player off of Notre Dame's team. I mean Kaiser, but like, I mean, they're not good at all. But I mean, Notre Dame just did like they did against Duke, and they did like they did against Michigan State. Like they just played just poorly enough to lose the game.
So it is actually pretty impressive on Notre Dame's part that it's not even like they get blown out. It's like they're in every single one of these games, and then they just fall apart.
And in all the 5 losses, they've had the ball with a chance to tie or a win, and they haven't done it on all 5. And I tweeted out, how do you, if you're a team that has a top 10 pick or whatever, like how do you justify to your fan base that you took a quarterback from a major school who has a losing record and is benched midway through the season for poor performance? Like, has that ever even happened?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of somebody.
Like, oh yeah, this guy, he's a top 5 pick. Yeah, he was benched. And he has a losing record at a major school. Like I don't know what Joe Flacco's like record was at Delaware State or wherever he went, but
they weren't a major school.
Yeah, it's like if you're at a major school and you're a good quarterback, like you better have a winning record. My goodness.
So what's wrong with Josh Adams?
I think he's hurt. That's my opinion. I think because in the summer he had a pulled hamstring, and I just don't think he ever got right. Because he doesn't look anything like he did last year. He just doesn't have the burst.
I mean, Kaiser was the leading rusher on Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, but they kind of gave up on it. I mean, because Tarian Folston, when he was running, he looked pretty good. Of course, they didn't really give Dexter Williams a chance because they're just not going to.
That just makes too much sense.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. So it's no point even bringing it up. I mean, you have to say, along with Kaiser, like the biggest disappointment on this team is the offensive line. And they're going to give up like 30-something sacks this year.
Ugh.
It's terrible. Like, can we get this figured out? Then we're not snapping. Like, we can't get snapping the ball over people's heads.
I mean, that was probably some residual pressure from the Hurricane game and Brian Kelly putting the center down.
I mean, maybe. I just want him to snap it. I feel like I'm not asking for much. Although I was like, so we know this player has like a poor, like, he has snapping problems. So they did one of those deals where it was 4th down and they wanted to do the pooch punt with Kaiser.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't know if this center should be snapping it further back than normal,
This isn't in his range.
Yeah, like because he backed up to like 10 yards behind him, and I was like, is that a good idea? Are we cool with that? So it worked out, but
the defense only gave up 1 touchdown though, and I saw you tweet a million times that they should stop running 3 down linemen, but
yeah, I mean, anytime some team just has like double tight end and is just running down your throat. You probably don't want 3 down. Put a 4th guy down there, please. Thanks. But for the most part, I mean, look, the defense in the last 2 games has given up 11 points combined. They've lost both games.
I mean,
I
last week was, Mother Nature assisted.
I mean, whatever.
They'll take it.
I mean, they gave up what, 7 points this week? I mean,
It's true. No, it's true.
I mean, they gave up a touchdown and they lost. It's not their fault. Can't blame them for that. So
now I saw a play where who was it? Was it Cole Luke and Drew Tranquil just looked terrible? And there's a rumor there was a whistle being blown.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So it was like a big play. It was 3rd and like 3, and they threw a bubble screen out to the back with a blocker. So Notre Dame had 3 guys kind of surrounding it, and the defensive end, who, like Notre Dame likes to do, like he dropped out, and so he pursues from the inside out, and he kind of stops, and the safety is blocked by the receiver, and then Cole Luke comes up and just kind of like stands there and waits for him to come. And when I saw it live, I was like, hey, like, this is ridiculous. Like, you need to
something needs to happen here.
Well, like you need to go get him. Like, well, I don't understand why you're waiting. Like, what are we waiting for? And I was tweeting at some of the other guys from Notre Dame sites, and they're like, oh, there's a rumor that there was a whistle. And if you look at it, like, it explains a couple guys' behavior on the play, because it's like they're totally not giving full effort. So it's like if they thought they heard a whistle, then that's fine. Like Cole Luke, it seemed like he was just not being aggressive. So, I mean, either way, the play was not made.
Right.
As has been the case all season at some point. Like
especially for Mr. Cole Luke.
Yeah, like a play. I mean, he made a great play in the first half on interception. But it's like, the play has to be made, and it's not being made. And it happens in every game, and that's why they're 2-5. I mean, that's just all there is to it.
I wish I had some insight or something I could tell you, but no, you nailed it. Like, they're just not executing. They're not making the plays.
Yeah, I mean, they're expecting to lose. You can clearly see it, especially this week. I mean, they were waiting for something to happen to lose the game. I mean, Kaiser's body language was terrible. There was no, enthusiasm. I think the crowd felt it as well. I think the crowd was sitting there waiting for them to do something to lose. I don't know where this came from. I wouldn't have predicted it, like, at all. To be 2-5 against this schedule is just unconscionable. I don't understand what happened.
Well, now, I mean,
yeah,
anything's possible now. They might not win another game.
They might not. I mean, it's all in play. It really is.
So I guess the good thing for Brian Kelly, since it's a bye week, is that he didn't get fired yet. So he's probably not going to get fired during the season.
It kind of goes back to if you ask me today, I just think it's not likely that he gets fired. I think he built up enough equity with the team to kind of, they would give him another chance. They would give him next year. But at the same time, like, losing to Duke, losing to Stanford the way they did.
The play calling against North Carolina State.
Yeah, like the play calling with North Carolina State, like pulling Deshaun Kaiser, losing to an awful Michigan State team. I mean, Michigan State is terrible. And so, like, in the way that they lost to Stanford, like, I couldn't fathom that they would lose that way. So, you know, if they go 2-10, I mean, would they keep them?
Who knows?
I keep thinking like it can't really get worse. Like at some point, it's going to level off, and they're going to play better. And it's like, even though they do play better, like, the defense was terrible, and now the defense is okay, and now the offense is terrible.
Right.
Like, I don't know what this team is capable of, like on the negative end. So, 2-10 is out there. If they're 2-10, will they keep them? I have no idea, because I can't even imagine what that even looks like, going 2-10. I will tell you this: that Thanksgiving weekend in Los Angeles is going to be a bloodbath.
I hope so.
It's happening. That's happening. That is guaranteed to happen.
Well, let's not get there just yet. But
okay,
will Brian Kelly's dust up with the Stanford coach have any impact on this, or is it just another fun story about Brian Kelly?
Honestly, that was just
chappy guy.
I think that was Stanford's strength coach.
It is true.
Being a weenie, in my opinion. It's like, dude, you're the strength coach. Like, don't talk to the head coach, please. Like, that's not your place.
Don't taunt him
about it. Yeah, like, you don't know anything about it. Okay, you don't. So just stay in your lane, do your thing. Get the team riled up, lead the stretches before the game, and then let the people who get paid millions of dollars to do their thing. Like, he shouldn't be talking to him, and he shouldn't be spouting off and, taking a cheap shot.
No, you're right. So, that's on the Stanford guy.
It's not cool.
However, Brian Kelly does have the reputation, so it's just another, incident to remember of Brian Kelly being chappy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if Jim Harbaugh does it, it's, just Jim Harbaugh.
Well, right. So, he's a winner.
He is a winner. That is true.
Winning cures everything. You get away with a lot when you win.
Yep. Although I don't know. He won a lot at Stanford with the 49ers, and he got himself fired.
Well, that's the pros.
Yeah.
That's different.
So, what is there? Anything else?
Anything else from Saturday that we missed?
No.
No, it was just a dumpster fire.
I feel like there was an officiating thing that's going to make me upset again.
I mean, that's every week.
Yeah. Let me think.
You hate the officials.
If there is one this week. Maybe there isn't. No, I think I'm fine.
Good. Yeah. I can't think of any extra Notre Dame stuff. They got a bye coming up, so that's, get to lick their wounds.
Yeah, apparently they're going away for the whole week, which is not normal.
Were they going like a team building course? They're gonna do like trust falls and rope ladders and things.
No, like they get to go home because last week was midterms. This always happens to Notre Dame, by the way. Like this like last year when they played USC, like that was midterm week. So it's like they have midterms and then they get a week off for fall, and then they come back. So that's why they're literally all flying home or something.
Don't you think they should just put an away game that weekend?
An away game? Well, every team gets a bye.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame what they should do is they should schedule a 13th game and get 2 byes. That's what they should do. I mean,
it's about the kids, Greg. They can't do that.
They can't do what?
I'm joking. Too many games.
Dude, the other conferences play 15 games if they go to the playoffs.
I said I was joking.
Well, don't joke at a time like this, Michael.
There's no time for joking.
This is no time for levity, okay?
It's all hands on deck.
I told you earlier that I was not going to let them ruin my weekend, but obviously that's not true. Obviously, I'm in a bad place.
And you have to stew on it for a whole nother week.
I know. It's a whole nother week, like another 10 months or whatever it is.
Well, they might win a game and that'll like cheer you
Who
up
cares?
here and there.
What does it matter if they win another game at this point?
So
What does it mean?
does DeShone Kaiser come back or does he stay? I mean, does he leave?
I don't know. I mean, the only I was. How can he stay? I mean, how can he leave?
Yeah, he's looked like garbage lately.
How can he leave? He looks terrible. Like he shows no intangibles. He's throwing terrible interceptions. I mean, he's on pace to turn the ball over more than Everett Golson did in 2014, and that kid was a sieve. I mean, the floodgates were open for him. So, I mean, he's turning the ball over at a ton rate, and he's taking terrible sacks. I mean, just unconscionable. Like, you can't do that ever. I don't care what level of football you're at. Like, you can't do it. And he took a sack to end the game.
You can't do that.
It can't happen. I mean, he tried to run it in from like the 14-yard line. It's like, what are you thinking?
I don't even think he knows anymore.
So yeah, I mean, he just looks out of sorts. Yeah. So I mean, he's not a first round pick right now. And if you're not a first round pick, you should stay. But maybe he hates Brian Kelly because he benched him.
That's true. I mean, you can't. You think a couple series, that's not gonna. No matter what Jimmy Clausen says, that can't be the case.
I mean, Jimmy Clausen, it's like, bro, talk about leaving early.
Or leaving at the right time.
No, he left after his junior year.
Right. And he's been in the NFL ever since.
Is he in the NFL right now?
Maybe not right now, but
he is
up
not
until
in the NFL. He was a terrible player. And
up until this season,
Michael, I'll tell you this, Michael. I have a real problem with Jimmy Clausen because if he had been Notre Dame's quarterback in 2010, they actually could have done something, but he was not.
Be careful. Jimmy Clausen's on my People You May Know on LinkedIn.
Is he really?
He is. That's a true story.
Well,
we have connections.
I'm sure he's a wonderful human being, but he left after 3 years. Now, granted, he was like 23, but still, he left after 3 years. And, you know, I would have liked it if he was on the team in 2010 instead of me having to deal with Dane Christ and Tommy Rees.
But he knew he'd get exposed. He had to catch that check when he could.
What do you mean get exposed?
I just felt like his stock was falling.
You don't think
so he wanted to cash out?
Oh no, he would have had an incredible season with Notre Dame and Brian Kelly. Whatever, I'm off it.
Anyways, yes, as we reminisce about the playing career of Jimmy Clausen,
I'm off it.
So I looked online, and our friends in Las Vegas have the bye as a 6-point favorite over Notre Dame. I'm kidding.
Give me the points. Take the points.
All right, well, let's flip the script then and head to hot Arizona.
Oh, you know what we should talk about? News and notes.
Oh, we have news and notes. All right.
Because Max Redfield, we were texting about this, right?
We were.
So this poor kid, and look, I feel for the guy because he put it on Instagram too, and he's bitter, and he should be. So he got kicked out of school. Now,
so let's give some backstory in case people forgot who Max Redfield was.
It was the five guys who were arrested in the offseason. He was the one who copped to the gun charge, and I assume he kept the marijuana charge. So I don't know if the gun charge is a felony. I don't think it is.
Probably
I think it's a misdemeanor.
It's Indiana. I feel like guns are okay there.
So he got kicked out of school. Like, not off the team, like out of school. And this is a kid who was set to graduate in December.
Ouch.
As a double major. Now look, I feel like the university owes it to their student athletes to look, the kid's 2 months away. And I know he made a mistake, and I know that he has to be responsible for that. But you took away his scholarship. Like he already paid a penalty. He doesn't get to play football. And I understand, like, maybe this doesn't happen to another student, but you have to, because look, I know enough about him to where it's like he gets good grades. You know, he doesn't know how to play football a lick, but he's a very intelligent human being. And I mean, we're talking about a double major, and one of those is like in Mandarin or something.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
We need to keep him in school so he can get his degree. He has put the time in. He has put in work, and he has, been a part of the football program, and he has paid his dues, and he has put in work for them as well. Like,
and it's just a few months.
Exactly. Like he's 4 classes away. I mean, come on.
You feel like, the Catholic way. What would Jesus do? Like, just give the kid a chance.
Do it right, man. Like, take care of your player.
They can pay for it or whatever, but
yeah. So I mean, this is just from the outside. Like, maybe there's other circumstances or whatever. I don't know, but
I can't imagine there being much more.
Yeah, so that's my kind of beef. Like, they need to do better by the kid.
That's not nice.
No. Anyway, let's talk about the good team in this podcast.
Well, let's use the term good loosely.
And by the way, I told you, like, they are no longer parallel programs.
No, things have definitely.
One team is on the ascent, and the other team is on the opposite they are on the descent.
There was definitely a fork in the road.
Yes.
So, it's Saturday. It's hot. It's the desert. I believe the temperature was around 94 degrees. Temperature on the plastic field was about 134. So, player safety not that important.
No.
It had something to do with the Pac-12 game schedule, so they couldn't move it. Yeah. Good job, everybody. Clay Helton said he was fine with it in his press conference. Just what a company, man.
Well, I mean, they won by like 50.
True. Well, all right. Get me started here. So everyone's excited. USC's winning. And this is going to be just like last week. It's Arizona, man. Their quarterback had 4 passing yards in the third quarter. Like, if you can't beat that team, that's bad news.
They're weird, man. Everything is just that quarterback. Either he's running or he's throwing. Like, they don't do anything else.
Well, he was the backup.
Designed to go to him. He was.
He was the backup quarterback.
And then they still did it like that?
Yeah. So then, because I think he couldn't do anything, so he had to be a lot of running because that's all he could do. I think he's a freshman.
No, that's a good point.
And then they bring in their backup, who's like a not listed on the roster tight end.
Oh.
It's like, come on. Let's not get too excited about
Rich Rod.
Yeah. Like that's a program in disarray. And USC's lucking out with this schedule. And Sam Darnold, who is just a wild man. Like, there's articles about how he's saving USC's season, which partially true, but I think this dip in competition is also saving USC's schedule.
Well, I do think that's 100% correct. And like going back, like, I mean, Colorado wasn't really a dip. It was supposed to be, but it wasn't. They're a good team.
Right.
And they didn't have to beat Arizona State either.
Didn't Arizona State lose this week too?
I don't know, did they?
I think so. I think I looked it up.
Maybe they're not good.
Yeah, Arizona State, not good. So, I mean, they're beating teams they're supposed to beat. Now, I know not every program does that.
No.
But yeah, I just think this hyperbole that's what it is. It's just they're going to run into what really is going to happen now is Notre Dame's bad, UCLA's bad. So just they're going to go 8-4.
I mean, look, that's fine by me, man.
And then that's a Pac-12 South title probably.
Depending on
what happens.
You should probably play Helton an extension.
You got to.
Yeah. Lock him up.
This is how he got hired.
Yeah. You lock him up for a decade. I think you got to do it.
Just more of the same.
I mean, he turned around Sam Darnold. I mean,
So Sam Darnold.
He looks like a Heisman Trophy candidate at this point, no?
He is the most what was the stat? As ESPN quarterback rating, however they do it, he's the number 1 quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah. So good on you, Sam Darnold.
I don't know how college efficiency ratings work. Like, I don't know what's good.
Yeah, it's not like the pros.
Yeah, it's like Oh, he had a passing efficiency rating of like 210. It's like, what? What does that even mean?
So is that
Like,
good?
I don't like it when I don't know what the max is.
I think it's like infinite.
Yeah, like because in the pros, the QBR, it's like 100 is max. So
Yeah, so you kind of have some kind of
and
range.
something in the 80s is really good. So if you're in the 90s, that's great.
But yeah, so Sam Darnold is the most efficient or highest rated, or whatever they call it, quarterback in all of college football. Good for him. He had a great running game last week, which is nice. He's just, he misses guys deep, but at least he's throwing it deep. So I got to give him that.
Yeah,
He's still a freshman. He's good. He's good. He's not
he's a good
great.
player.
He's a good player. Hopefully, he got a haircut, by the way.
Yeah, we all know how we feel about that on this podcast.
So maybe he was listening.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Juju Smith had another great Sam Darnold great game. They're like the connection now.
Yeah.
He had 3 touchdowns, so he's back. One guy who's not quite back though, Ronald Jones.
No.
He was okay. He had the most carries. He only had 81 yards. Did have a touchdown early.
What's up with Steven Mitchell? I saw he hurt his knee.
Oh yeah, Steve Mitchell blew his ACL out.
Yeah, that didn't look happy.
So he's out for the season. He's now hurt both knees.
Ugh,
I know, poor guy.
terrible.
So that means
is Juju okay?
Back spasms is what I heard.
Oh, okay.
So UFC has a bye coming up too, so that should help him heal. Yeah, when he got hurt, I got a little worried.
He's always got some sort of a problem. For a guy as big as he is and strong, like he's always got some sort of ailment.
Well, I think he's a physical guy, and
He is physical.
he might think he can be a little more physical than he should be.
Mm.
Maybe his problem. Like maybe he should not take as much contact as he does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it's there's not a lot to say. They're beating teams they should. They're playing fine. They still have some issues. Offensive line play is but Sam Darnold can run around now, unlike Max Brown, so he can bail him out. When he runs around, he finds Deontay Burnett.
That's a really big deal. I mean, it's unbelievable. I was thinking about it while I was watching Deshaun Kaiser take a big dump on Notre Dame's field. And I was thinking, like, I can't believe that USC has the better quarterback of the two teams right now, because they clearly do. It's not even close. I mean,
let's hope it stays that way.
He's scrambling when he should scramble. And I swear, every time he passes, I feel like he knows exactly where the ball is supposed to go. And sometimes he makes a poor throw or whatever, but at least the guy's open. I feel like every time he throws a ball, like it's not close to getting intercepted.
Like it's not a mistake.
No, he's not trying. He doesn't need to fit the ball in any windows or whatever. Like he's not forcing it into coverage. Like the guy's open. And he might overthrow it, or he might underthrow it, or whatever. The guy might drop it, but it's like it's not going to get intercepted. And
that's what you want,
right? And especially for a young guy. So,
yeah.
And like one of the things that really bugs me. I was listening to a lot of podcasts today, and they're talking about how like Notre Dame quarterbacks struggle.
This is like a general Notre Dame quarterback,
just in general. Under Brian Kelly, and it's like, well, he puts so much on them. They're responsible for so much. And like I'm watching Sam Darnold, and I'm thinking, like, is he not responsible for like everything that goes on? Like they're running like they run not option, but they run the zone read.
Yeah.
He's getting the ball, he's calling out protections, like he's changing plays. He's scrambling when he needs to. Like he's making the plays. Like
he averaged 9 yards a carry. He does.
Yeah. Like, can we not have these mentally weak guys playing quarterback all the time? It's like it's your job. Like you're the quarterback. Of course you have a lot on your plate. It's like, what does that even mean?
I mean, they were not playing Arizona, so give Mr. Kaiser a break,
bro. It was goofball Stanford. Like
Stanford beat USC.
what?
Stanford beat USC.
But they had McCaffrey.
That's true. And no Sam Darnold.
And no Sam Darnold, exactly. I mean, you just need to play better. Like, stop complaining about, so much on my plate. Oh, the quarterback.
It's supposed to be like that, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Johnny Manziel's a nut job, and he figured it out in college.
That is true.
Sheesh.
He's got to run around and throw it up.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
The whole season is on his shoulders. And he's a basket case, and he worked it out. Sean Kaiser can't handle it against Duke. He can't handle it against friggin' goofball Stanford with their terrible team. Ugh. He's got so much on his plate, Mike. Oh.
Leave him alone.
I don't want to leave him alone. I'm sorry I hijacked you.
No, it's fine. I think people like it. People like it.
Okay.
This is like your therapy session when you get to see what Sam Darnold's doing and just bounce it off what Deshaun Kaiser's doing.
It is, man. He's so much better than him right now. It's depressing. This kid's supposed to be a top 5 pick. Jeez.
I know. Adoree Jackson got to touch the ball on defense. He picked up a fumble.
He did pick up a fumble.
It was very exciting. I thought he might break it, but he still had a really good return. I think he was like 26 yards or so. Just when he touches the ball, he's just so exciting.
He is exciting. They should probably put him on offense.
But they don't need him right now.
Well, Steven Mitchell's hurt now.
That's true.
Not that I wanted him to get hurt. I don't.
Well, no one wants that.
No.
Let's see what else happened. The defense looks fine, but like I said, they're playing a quarterback who doesn't know how to throw, and then a backup tight end. So
yeah, it's hard to know.
It's really hard to know. But yeah, it's a fine win. They didn't lose. They looked pretty good. No complaints here. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yep. On to the next.
Exactly. I just thought of something. Akasajikwara had 100 yards. That's what it was. So he filled in admirably for Justin Davis.
He's better than I thought.
They say he's like a real complete back.
Yeah.
Which is not good for Ronald Jones.
No, it's not. I'll take him.
And one of my favorites, Dominic Davis, had like 15 yards of carry or something.
Yeah.
So he got some run too in Justin Davis's absence.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else Sam Darnold does?
Hmm.
This is what I wanted to say. He throws the ball to the tight ends.
He does.
I think he has like 4 tight end touchdowns.
I mean, the guy knows where he's supposed to throw it. I mean, he just knows every time. He knows where the ball's supposed to go. I mean, it's so much. I imagine it's so easy to play quarterback when that is the case.
It must be.
Yeah.
Last week, I forgot to mention that Batiku got his first snaps of the season.
Oh.
He didn't do anything, but
hey, it's a start.
I don't know if he played us last week, which is kind of weird. It's like, way to waste that red shirt if you're not really going to use them.
Yeah, if that's going to happen, you need to play him all the time.
Yeah. Once you burn his red shirt, it's like, all right, get in the rotation.
Yeah, get in there. That's a good point.
So USC, I say they have a bye next week too. Oh, I don't know if I said that yet. So then they come back and they play on a Thursday because USC always plays on Thursdays now.
Who do they play?
Cal.
Ooh, where is it?
I believe it's at the Coliseum.
There's going to be some fireworks in that game.
I hope not.
Oh, it's happening. Cal chucks the ball over the field.
Sam Darnold will be able to keep up. That's for next.
That's what I mean. It's going to be That's going to be fireworks.
Oh, the good kind of fire, like just fireworks all over.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Let's see, any fun? Oh, another USC news and notes. I'm really mad at myself. There's a song called Juju on the Beat, and Juju Smith-Schuster now he does the dance to it now when he scores touchdowns.
Mm.
And I wanted to bring it up last week, and I thought, no. This is such a they're never gonna make that connection. It's some weird song no one's ever heard of. And then he got a penalty for doing the dance. I'm so mad at myself.
Of course he got a penalty for doing the dance.
Well, no, but I didn't think he'd do the dance. That's what I'm saying. Because he hadn't done it before.
Yeah. No, of course he did. You can't do choreographed dances in college.
No fun, man. No fun.
I don't even think that's fun, but that's a personal thing.
I like dancing. I'm pro dancing.
You know what? Like, I was listening to another podcast, and they're pro. Like Deshaun Kaiser, when he scores a touchdown, he does like the heel click thing, which I hate.
What's that? Like the Charlie Chaplin thing?
I guess. I don't know. He just did it against Syracuse. Like he jumps and clicks his heels, and then he lands.
That's dumb.
Of course, it's dumb.
I'm not a fan of jumping celebrations because you can get hurt.
I'm not a fan of celebrating anything in the middle of the second quarter when you're 2-4. We had this conversation last week.
We did.
Like, dude, you have the whole game to play. Like, less doing that garbage and more focusing on winning.
That's how you fire the kids up.
No, it isn't.
You just don't understand these millennials.
You know what? I'll piggyback off of that too, because I know you're following my Twitter feed. So Notre Dame's doing the thing before the kickoff where they all do the sway back and forth, and they do it. Notre Dame never does that. They never do it. It's false bravado. And so what happens? Like, oh, that's how kids get fired up. Okay. They lost 17-10.
Yeah, I remember when SC had that stupid thing when they came out against Alabama. They were like crawling and holding each other back, and didn't really like that either.
And then they came out and got their faces beat in for 60 minutes. You know, I'm not a fan of that stuff. But
I mean, when you're winning and you're good though, it's great when you reminisce on it afterwards.
Right. So the common denominator isn't around and having quote unquote swagger. It's being better than them.
Yeah.
And there are lots of, if you're better, then it doesn't matter what you do.
Well, that was one of the first things I said. Winning cures everything.
Right, but the inciting action is being good, not having quote unquote swagger.
But do you need swagger to be good? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
Is it chicken and egg kind of stuff?
I don't see Alabama like swaying back and forth. I remember those Miami teams back in the day, like they didn't sway back and forth. I'm talking about the Sean Taylor Miami teams. I don't know what the Jimmy Johnson Miami teams.
Well, those guys probably did any dance.
I mean, they had swagger, but they had confidence. Like they didn't have to do dances after whatever.
I mean, Alabama
congratulate each other.
That's like all the swagger you need right there.
By the way, do they show Lane Kiffin more than Nick Saban during games?
Yes.
It's like every time it's like Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin.
I mean, they were playing Tennessee last week, but yes, Lane Kiffin gets tons of TV time for being an offensive coordinator.
For being a coordinator. You don't even know what Notre Dame's offensive coordinator looks like.
I don't.
If you saw him on the sideline, you'd be like, I don't know who that is.
Is he in the box?
No, he's on the field.
He's on the sideline? Huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, Notre
Dame has like 3 offensive coordinators, and clearly it's going great.
Well, I feel like Brian Kelly is the main one.
Yeah, he is.
Well, T. Martin now has his new favorite play of
he's doing great, man.
Sam just run around.
Yeah.
Sam run around on 2.
Okay, we're gonna drop back, and then you're gonna run.
If someone's open, you throw it. If not, you run.
And hit.
Hey, it's been working all along.
What a depressing season.
I'm just.
You know what I told Timmy though?
What?
I told Timmy that if Notre Dame being just the worst that they've ever been means that Donald Trump isn't president, then it's all worth it.
You said that last week.
Did I?
Yeah, you're just doubling down now.
I'm doubling down. It's so true. It's true.
That's all you have to hold on to now.
It's true. It is. And I will tell you this: if he gets bludgeoned by like 10 points on November 8th, it'll be fine. Even though he's gonna make people riot in the streets and
Well, it's rigged, Greg.
claim that it was stolen from him.
Yeah.
I think Brian Kelly should take more of that tact.
This isn't fair. Everyone's against us.
It's like rigged against him.
Being at Notre Dame, we have to do it better and cleaner than everybody else.
I mean, the Fort Wayne Gazette, like Journal or whatever, like they compared him to Donald Trump this week.
Not great.
Which I thought was just inflammatory. Like, geez, man. Like, I know you don't like that he pulled Deshaun Kaiser, but my goodness. Like, don't put the Trump on him. And then I thought, like, it's like, is that how bad Donald Trump is? It's like, I almost felt like he was invoking Hitler on the guy. Like, whoa. Like, come on. That's
too far, guys. This is just football.
Yeah, that's too much. Let's get it together on that.
I mean, the worst thing Brian Kelly's ever done is get that poor kid killed. But, Mike, you went there.
Too soon. That's too soon.
It took two seasons of the podcast for you to make that joke.
That's too soon, man. That was tough. That was a tough time. Do we have a reader question?
I don't. I didn't look. I forgot.
What?
I know.
I so look forward to the reader questions.
The reader questions. By the way, listeners, we need more questions. Yes. So it's tiltingground@gmail.com. Get your questions in. We'll say your name, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So since
you can even ask like a baiting question about Notre Dame that'll make me upset. That's what everyone's favorite.
I think that's the plan, right?
I think that's everyone's favorite is like now they're just rooting for Notre Dame to be terrible so I can come in and just whine and complain for 30 minutes.
I think so. That is what everybody wants.
Look, I'm a straight shooter, just like John Lovett. I'm a straight shooter who's respected on both sides. The SC fans, like, look, I tell the truth, Mike.
You do tell the truth. You love Sam Darnold.
I tell the truth. I just said that Sam Darnold was better than Deshaun Kaiser. Like, that's a straight shooter right there.
I'm doom and gloom over here. I'm the one who thinks SC's in trouble.
You'll never think they're good.
I never.
Nope.
Never. Reggie Bush could be on the team. OJ Simpson could be back there with
invoking OJ now.
Yeah, with Carson Palmer and nope.
Speaking of getting people killed, hey yo.
I know. Yeah, we don't make enough OJ jokes here.
This podcast has taken a turn.
It sure has. All right, let's get out of here before we get in real trouble.
All right.
So next week's a bye week. I have something cooking. I got something cooking. So since I said it out loud, that makes me have to commit a little more.
Okay. So
when you listen next week, there should be a fun surprise.
Am I involved?
Well, you'll know before everyone else, Greg.
Okay, good.
I'm working out the details now.
Okay.
Other than that, we'll see everybody next week. Listen to us on the website, on wherever you find us, on Twitter. Like, wherever you see this podcast, there's got to be a like button. Hit it. We really appreciate that. Leave comments on iTunes. Subscribe on iTunes.
Yeah.
Greg, what's your Twitter?
At Greg2126. Greg
has lots of Notre Dame thoughts lately.
I do. And I'm not even going to apologize for my anti-Donald Trump. Don't come to my Twitter if you're a Donald Trump fan because you won't like it.
There's no need to apologize.
No.
This just makes you a human.
Okay.
I'm Michael Muto on Twitter. Ever since I called out Los Angeles Magazine last week, they've all only had good tweets. I think they listen.
Wow. Influence.
We are influencers. All right, man. Let's get out of here. I'll talk to you next week. Fight on.
All right. Go Irish.